Okay, so we're saying, you say that the Western man thing is over the black man thing. This is what we want to know. This is the question that we are asking. We are asking, how is it that now I have my PhD, MA, PhD, TA, CA, CAD, MAD, TE, CEGP, FI, JK, LNMOP. Now I have all of those paper and degree. And now you have to look up to me because I am an authority figure. I don't have to have any common sense. I don't have to have any form of manners. I just have to have letters assigned to my name, and now I am an authoritative figure. I don't have to have no manners. I don't have to have no common sense. I don't have to have nothing else in particular, no fashion sense, no nothing. I can just be stuck in my grammar. I can just be stuck in my corner, and you have to worship me now and forever after, because I am the authoritative figure. And until you enter, until you get your MAPADA, MAD paper, you cannot contend with anything I say. Rasta, Barlet, King, Prince, Papa, me not care. My paper and letter. I studied in the University of so-so-ever, and I was under the tutelage of whoever. And even though they never had no common sense and no manner, they were very, very good at delivering, and I was very good at recollecting and remembering what was being delivered, and I can replicate their thing like a my thing, and that is how you know me are the king in this thing. And you have to look up to me, and you can even engage in this thing, because your head will just start spin, whereas my head is on a level landing. I can take off anytime now and bring you with me and just drop you from a great height and say anything. See, and you better hope your parachute is working, cause that's the thing. So who says that this linear, left hemispherical, segregative behavior that is portrayed by these characters in the institutional organizations, which have fond affiliations to some characters whose character and personage have no common sense, no holistic thinking, and nothing but grammar, rhetoric, and repetition of volumes of data. Linear, segregative data downloaded from the master, the professor, the lecturer at this so university, whoever, saying this Western education model we follow, we aspire to become extremely segregative, extremely linear, and extremely superior to each and every other creature. Can now me studying in my corner to the degree where nobody else can understand me ever. I mean, when I sitting down at dinner and when you are talking over the beer, we all can all drink beer, we can all eat dinner, but my brain is ticking and your brain is ticking and my brain cells are dying and your brain cells are thriving. I saw the thing though. So this system, we want to know who says that this system is over for the thing. Now we know the time we're living in. We know unless we fit it in, it was the hanging tree. We know, forever the victim, even when the markings is outstanding. We often remember the rate we were moving at. They couldn't deliver the thing at the rate we were moving, so I got hands end up doing foolish things. You're immature, you're young. That's what immaturity and in with young youth thing. Experience of things, discipline within. You're out there with your peers. Girl there, so you need to make sure so you're impressing. Even ready to face a beating sometime to do your thing. Cause you fit in. You need to fit in. You're in your community, you're socializing, your group are identifying. And all in all within this thing is a conflicting education system which just highlight their thing over their thing over their thing, and you don't ever get a look in the model you are shown, the model you are following. I feel them thing. How are you ever gonna win? All the scales, all the balances, all the checks, all the laws, all the regulations, all of the things was created within institutions that have racism indwelling, like woodworm or wood rot in the thing. No matter how much them plaster up the building, support the building really and truly is rotten from within. In a minute, as always, the next part will be exposed and the next piece of plaster will be slapped over him. But you're living in a cracked, failed thing. But still, they were promoting the thing. The youth them have to leave school and run go get the thing. Join in the debt-based economy. Join in the excessive borrowing. Join in the excessive drinking and thing to give some form of semblance to life being lived. And then invade foreign country and fuck up them culture and tradition with left right, left, 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 left. Can't go right, you know. Gee, left. Boy, have you ever seen such things? So, this is the working of the system. Struggled with the thing because we have a way of thinking using 360 and they have a way of thinking using 33 degrees. And really and truly that kind of acute, subjective, linear scope of thinking is severely limiting, you know what I mean, when we know there is more than 33 degrees to this thing. So, really and truly, who's going to open up the thing? Do I have to really become a Freemason and roll up one sleeve, trouser leg, and put one arm in my jacket and swear the oath of allegiance that upon death I will never release the secret which my brethren and brethren are sharing concerning the working of the universal thing, that is not God we're dealing, is a next thing, for this thing is, you know, superior over all things. We are dealing with the grand architect. We are dealing with the Masonic thing. So, where did that come from? Where did that begin? The gross deviation and perversion that comes with literal left hemispherical linear based objectified subjects in the thing, rationales based upon logical clinical analysis that is segregative in its means of analyzing. That means that in order to overstand the computer, I have to separate him into a million parts and identify every single part as something and give it a something and then make it into a thing, and associated to that thing is this other thing, and then I connect this and that and that and that, and now I saw the head work with them thing. See, segregative, analytical, logical way of thinking, which is good for a time, for a thing, but you cannot apply that to people or things that are breathing. It's alright with a program working out the thing within a box, but a human being, an animal, and the laws of nature cannot be fitted within a box. But this is the rationale that comes from linear, left hemispherical, logical, segregative thinking, which is what they're based in and promoting. Hence the education system is segregative in the way it delivers the topics and the thing. The man who specialized in the thing, now I have my PhD, MHD, MABA, MAD in the thing. Nobody can talk to me again I am Lord and Master over all things, authoritative when I'm speaking, even if I've lost all pins, even if I have no manners, even if I have no common sense, even if I have no other social skills or overstanding. Yes, because in a box, we all fit in a box according to the way this left hemispherical segregative brain is working. And who is promoting that this form of thinking and this education system that employs those that have acute skills in delivering subjects without any bearing on any other thing, but can profess to know the thing after practicing him in an isolated environment without any common sense, without any manners or respect or anything, come to conclusions and rationales that once applied in the real world need tweaking and adapting, because that dose and that level of radiation that you're emitting, it work on paper, but it don't work on my skin. Okay. So you shove me in this machine and scan me and activate and deactivate some cells according to the fact that I'm robbed of vitamins, according to the fact that I'm robbed of nutriments, according to the fact that my body is already fighting odds to win the toxification, the over-toxification, and forever trying to clean and rid itself of the poisoning, the genetical reprogramming that is occurring, the extra addition of estrogen into the masculine thing, enabling man them to have mammary glands. And steroids mixed in with medicine and with food in order to stimulate things working which are lacking through what? Though you may eat in 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, you're still robbed of the vitamins, the nutrients, the essential thing. Who say the Western man thing, the linear, left hemispherical, segregative, see, non-holistic, highly destructive way of thinking is running this thing right now. I mean, who's encouraging me to get my MAD, BAD, CGE in the thing? Isolate myself to the point where nobody in the world except me and him can understand a thing what I'm talking. Isolate me to the point where my knowledge bring me to the thing where my social skills and social standing become really imbalanced for nothing out there understands this level of thing, and it's like, wow, that must be a trip, one head trip. And then add to that the psychotic training in linear thinking, the segregative training in linear hemispherical western left turn, left turn thinking, that now we have all of these things and we have no understanding. We have all of these things and everything is being used to, you know, detriment of next things. See, because there were no holistic practices in training. There was no adjoining. Everything was segregated in its own thing. The levels of radiation I'm creating when I'm creating this thing never balanced with your radiation level, and now we're skin a bun. An appeal. And the pharmaceutical industry is still engaging in developing more technology involving more radiation, involving more electronic components, involving more microprocessing, involving more energy utilizing, involving a lot more going in than coming out of the thing. And what is coming out of the thing in the grand scope of everything, I'm sure you can get better results dealing with a different thing. Really and truly. When you check the cell warfare, the biological warfare, the Terminator technology that they are introducing, where in order to work something, I have to get rid of a next thing. In order to work something, I have to pacify you to the point where you have no feelings of the thing. The thing is not gone. All we can do is pacify you to the point of non-recognition. At the same time, the warfare is ongoing as the thing, your thing within your system is trying to regulate these foreign elements invading. It's trying to incorporate foreign things. The flushing needs to be a lot more, it need to be increasing from the, induced taking of foreign things, synthetic, man-made foreign things. See, that they tell you, made in a sterile lab, in a sterile environment, in a sterile thing, packaged, prime, proper, prim, delivered, pop him, pop this, pop him, pop pills, all day long to regulate your system. See, we've been working in a lab, we've been researching, we've been spending hundreds, thousands, millions developing this thing, gone through rigorous processing, trials and things, and when it never work out too right, we just hop over to the lobby and we just, you know, send a couple girl with some big booty and send a couple of buckle of the big bubbly and couple paid vacation to prime location and maybe a little introduction to, you know, one of your, so before you know it, the thing is on the shelf. I don't know no better. I'm just a 9 to 5. I don't have time to look through every dictionary and encyclopedia and learn all the vernacular in order to stay on top of these characters. When they tell me in the newspaper that these characters are in a $1 billion industry and it costs 15 pence for a manufacturer and it costs £6, £7, £8 with a piece of paper. And we know that you're talking about a company which is designed to make profit for its shareholder, and in order to maintain that profitability it must maintain, you see it must maintain profitability. It's got nothing to do with healing, really and truly. The byproduct 1, 2 and 3 catch a little relief, temporary, but actually really and truly is another set of aggravated, related deficiencies, related illness and related dis-ease I go follow from engaging in a lifetime of absorbing negativity through all the mediums provided to you. See, dietary, energy. I mean, you go to the shops and really and truly so much packet, so much tin, so much rose, so much out and in. You eat your dinner, you feel hungry again. It's like you're just eating for the sake of eating. Whereas we don't know, with the sun-induced vitamins, with the natural tree, wind, rain, sun, circulation thing, with the earth less polluting, more long-standing, you know, natural mulching over time and thing. Yeah, you're gonna be tasting and feeling and enjoying a far better thing. So, who say the Western man education thing is over for we, the black man thing? And this we are discussing, this we are questioning, this we want to know, when we can see, highlight it, and soon we will be visually demonstrating exactly what we are talking about. This medieval, barbaric, left hemispherical, linear, segregative, dissectionist. In order to understand the brain, I had to hire you to go to the cemetery and dig up X amount of body, where I would now use my hacksaw and my apprentice and carve off everything we see and label it and put it in a compartment and then study until we come up with a conclusion that tell me, yeah, this is how this thing works really and truly. I mean, this is the foundation of science, Western science. This is the foundation of the thing. And how humanity work out is that any man with a disability or woman or child, anyone with any deformity, anyone with any mental impaired activity is a witch, a demon, a warlock, or a wizard, or a blasphemer, a heathen, a pagan, or a Scrooge, or a miser, or a spastic, or a man. There's so much name, too much name to mention, man. Now they are no longer patients, they are clients. All organizations, members, nurses, doctors, befrienders, social care workers, they no longer deal with patients, they deal with clients on the conveyor belt of 1 out, 1 in, 5 in, 1 out, 5 in, 1 out, 5 in, 1 out. We need this thing filled, you know, otherwise we lose the job. If we don't have nowhere to work and practice, then that's the end of that thing, and we can't have that really and truly. We need the thing working. We need the thing working. Otherwise we don't have no work. Simple, straight up, straight in. And if we find an alternative to pharmaceuticals, then we lose work, we lose investment, we lose fame, we lose the £500 jacket, we lose the £300 socks, and we lose the mansion on the hill and a whole heap of things. And if I was to walk through a place like India, walk through the ghetto in anywhere where they created the drug war and left the place in a tatter, anywhere they created the slave colonies and trading posts and centers and left them in a tatters, and now you find ghetto, as they like to call it, in third world area. Ask all of their doctors to go walking through India and heal the sick that they profess that is their job. They are healer. That is their job. They are not just there to read a book and take a measurement. Who can't read a book, look on a computer and prescribe a pill? It's better we see them walk through India and heal a leper. It's better we see them walk through and heal, you know, a one who disfigure without Botox. It's better we see them go out and heal by teaching agriculture methods and introducing nutritional structure, you know, through dietary requirements and food processing procedure. It's better they go learn to be a master chef and combine the world over millions and millions of spices and culinary flavors, as they call them, and exotic exotica. Rather than look upon the exotica, it's better you look into the exotica, understand why it is here, which thing it really worked good for years and years and years within certain culture, even if it's just a placebo, because what more is their pill than a sugar pill, a sugar coated pill? So yeah, it's better really and truly a man come a real healer, if one will call himself a doctor. See, it's better you become a healer. See, lay your hands on people who have real problems, not man-made problems, not bad habits problems, not lack of discipline problems, not environmental, conditional, you know. It's better a man look and take his profession and take it further than right now you're sitting down for 15 or 24 or 48 hours waiting on one doctor who will pass the office, they say, in several hours. And you know, it's not just you him a go see, him have bare things him a go see and do. So a man ya who I go see you, him not go relaxed. He's not gonna have time to say, or give you time to say dee da dee da. You know, the minute you say anything, it's ha. Prescribe this method, watch this procedure, take this sticking plaster, and try avoid coming back here. Really and truly, cause you can see me under pressure. You ain't got nowhere to sit. You have to sit in that corner. You know what I mean? There's other people with all kind of ailment and thing. You and them are all in the same mix now. You could just hurt your finger and have the next one walk in with typhoid or God know whatever. Sit right up next to you in your corner. Oh gosh. Trust me, the public thing. So then, really and truly, is private any better? Or is it just this privileged structure thing now where you don't see it? Again, money down there and you survive, no money down there and you're gone. So this is the structure that is created off of linear thinking. This is the structure that is created off of the Western Hemisphere and promoted in the Western Hemisphere. This is the criteria to enter. You must think linear. You must be able to segregate anything into its granular components, extremely granular. The more granular and the more segregative we prefer. If you do that, we can call you a professional, a professor, because you are a specialist in a particular area. You are highly acute and defined by 33 degrees, acute angle, sphere of knowledge. It does not matter the other 327 degrees of the sphere, because there will be other masters in those areas, and you will just hand the baton over when you reach your boundary and your border, and you can talk about from right down there upon earth to all the way up until the stars then reach Mars, and be over my head and have to feed me in layman terms for me to ever really aspire and understand what you know. So is the structure that when they pass the information and pass the data, extremely segregative, compartmental and linear. So I can't take this and put it into any other arena, because I'm not that broad or wide, far-fetched, spread out. You know, I've studied my area to rigorous standards, to high, you know, requirements, and condensed. All of this information is now condensed, but it is all compartmentalized, and it is never fully, you know, holistically realized. And that is why it don't seem wise to follow that their enterprise. You see it. So who say them thing there is over? Do you think? Now let's move on to Africa. So they got a big echo in there. Africa. Boom down on them. Where holistic nature preserve and protect the culture for hundreds and hundreds, becoming thousands and thousands of years, when it is demonstrated that in the 200 odd lifespan of America, 200 odd year lifespan of America, and if Britain started in 1066 with Willy Wonka the Conqueror, then that's just another 1,000-year plus empire. So between the mother and the daughter, Great Britain and America, see, and the European colonizer all over that made their new states of Europe in America, the newfound land as they call it. But I was sitting on the sofa when you walked in, and I just went to the fridge to go get you a cup of water, and then when I come back in, you handed me a piece of paper telling me that something about you like my sofa and I can't sit on it no longer because you have somehow taken over this quarter, and anything in this quarter belong to you and your officer, and you can now distribute everything in this quarter amongst your officer, and me not get a quatty, not a ribena or a chicken patty. Imagine. And then you go in your arena and say, look here, I have discovered a sofa. Meanwhile, I am now using a rock to sit on, and your youth come over half of the money where you make from selling picture on my sofa. Your youth come over, see me sitting on a rock, take a picture and bring it back over, and now say, look, on this character, I must sit down on a rock, and we have sofa. Boy, Rasta, man, woman, child, I hope you see the discoverers them and the man them that boldly put their name. So now we know who, really and truly this group and crew affiliated with. Show me a company, I will tell you who you are. Cecil Rhodes, founding Rockefeller, Rothschilds the Elder, one said him a go run from Cape to Cairo for Queen Victoria and her empire. Such was their nobility, such was their character, that hundreds of thousands upon thousands to uncountable numbers of women were subjected to them viper. So when it comes to numbers and maths, when it comes to astronomy, when it comes to geography, the land topography, when it comes to all the sciences involving spiritual anatomy, when it came to the sciences of movement and energy, uttering sound into the atmosphere to affect a thing and affect its resonancy and its vibrating to induce a state of healing. Trance state induced healing is the fastest way to deal with anything. External application, without the preventative system, is just demonstrating compartmentalized Western hemispherical segregative linear based thinking. We never really heal or resolve anything by sticking plasters and such things over things that require a lot more dedicated dealing. The fact that we are going through severe malnutrition and that it is predicted that in the next 15-20 years that we will be severely so robbed that majority of us will be struggling, really struggling, from the malfunctioning that will be happening, from organ failures, from regulatory systems just giving up and collapsing and giving in. You know, they're like been bombarded now for 20 plus years with radio waves and radiation, so much so that they say that the cancer will be increasing and that a third of the population will become a victim. And I ask, when they present me with such, bold statements, who is doctoring and manufacturing these numbers? How they know that I, the third, is going to catch this thing when they don't know what the hell I am eating and what the hell I am doing. This predicting is based upon the prediction that by 2016 we will roll out broadband to everywhere, and by 2018 we will make sure that every doctor is closed and everybody have to go through this direction, and by this time here, if you're in the unemployment universal credit system, you have to go through Hitler sterilization camp and boot camp training. Yo, 5 minutes away any day now. So fast forward to the thing, cause we done see it. So we are say, who say now? After him and him, see, show us them thing. See, and we say ew to all of them. And we refuse all of them, and we reject all of them, and not one of them will ever think of marrying. So, really and truly, who said that that thing is over the black education system? And this is why we have to elaborate on the thing, cause just to remind us that we are talking about Aryans invading, usurping, whitewashing, reselling, and completely, totally, utterly destroying any semblance of black culture and black holistic thinking in education, in religion, in politics, government. We are talking government and health, every arena where we work in. Did I not say education is linear based? Pat on the back. My MAD is better than your PhD. Trust you and me. Believe you me, my MAD is better than your PhD. You see it? Yes, man. They gone acronym crazy. Okay? Think they can just abbreviate anything and deviate everything and then replicate anything and get the same thing. Now we see mutants. Now we see foreign. Come on. This relabeling and re-identifying. Call a spade like you used to, There's nothing wrong with calling a spade if that is the thing. Now what you do with a spade is a different thing, but a spade is a spade. Now which three ways you look at it. So in this thing right now demonstrated is psychotic, thinking, that believe right cannot win over might, and that might will enforce right even though it's never worked from day and it's now night, and another day and another night, and there's still a fight. So that shows you straight away it can't right. Make us get some order in this building. Enough objections, no fingers pointing, but notice we never point no finger, we never say nothing except highlight and demonstrate a thing, and we see the living results, and the proof is in the pudding. So right now let's work with the next thing which we really need to work with. Now we have totally realized, utterly debased and demolished their system and their thing, for the flaws that it has been showing, for the cracks that it has been showing, for no matter how much times they run up and plaster over him, the cracks will always be revealing. And when you go up to the top, or you go down to the basement of the building, you will find in the dusty closet or the attic or the basement bare skeletons. This man, that man, her and him, all of their dealings to ensure that they hold on to this thing and you don't get nothing, you know what I mean, classification as a witch or a wizard or a dim or a damn. See, if you ever come into confliction with their idealism, if you ever come into confliction with their agenda, then you are you're coming up against the heavyweight character now. You're looking for a fight with a heavyweight character. They're bringing somebody who is extremely linear, so clinical that you will get dismembered, just like they do with any other subject that they take into their arena. It will get automatically dismembered, and it is now up to you to stay in one configuration throughout the attempt at dismembering your configuration. Your configuration, really and truly, them come with the artificial version right now. So them feel say they are going to weaken the system and then come in with a stronger replica based upon technical constitution. This memory bank, this storage system, this CPU, this RAM, this cloud, these things them I work with, this is where we are heading. This is the plan. keep a lookout.